Polite inquiries, Adelaide Oval. Satyajit says, did the hit on Virat's helmet refrain Johnson? What do you think?
Not really. He kept bowling a lot of short stuff, so no, I don't think it refrained him from anything.
The next ball was almost identical, but it just didn't feel as vicious. But he was clearly really upset for a little while. The way he walked up, that's not how he walks up to people usually. You've faced bounces from him. There's usually a bit more stare, a bit more attitude.
The edge to that was missing a little bit. There's no doubt about it, which is understandable. If anyone saw his last over to Riddhiman Saha, you knew it was back.
Yeah, he was back by the end of the day. Apparently the players, sat around him and tried to G him up at lunch. So obviously they were a little bit worried about him. But Saha was probably more worried by the end of the day. Cricket bowler says, should Australian bowlers wear Jimmy Anderson masks to Virat Kohli? What's happened? Have you been working with? Have you had a word? Is this all because of you?
Because I haven't worked with him, which is why I think he's but very different conditions.
Yeah.
I think, really, really good batting conditions here. Yes, he wasn't challenged as much outside the off-stump, seaming and bouncing ball as he was in England. So, different conditions, and he's played a lot better as well outside the off-stump. The problems for him were outside the off-stump. And I thought he countered that really well. He left well, and his cover driving and his footwork was excellent in this particular game. He's going to face tougher challenges as the series goes on, tougher wickets, but he was excellent today.
He's actually a really good batsman in Australian conditions. I thought he was the best batsman last time they came as well. It suits him a little bit more than England, where it's just nibbling all the time.
Yeah, we're seaming around a bit, maybe sometimes that sort of, it challenges his technique just outside the off stump a little bit. But he's very strong on anything on his legs, and the short ball doesn't really bother him too much.
Peter Miller says, if Saha scores big runs here, does Dhoni get straight back into the side?
Dhoni's the captain, so he will get straight back into the side.
You think there's no doubt? There's no way that they look at Kohli and they go, well, he made 100 as captain, and Saha, makes 100, and they just go, well, do we need Dhoni anymore?
No, there's no way they're going to do that. He is the announced captain of the side. And he was one of India's best batsmen in the Tour of England as well. So
probably the best batsman.
The best batsman in terms of runs. So no, I think he will get straight back in. But if Saha scores runs, it's a nice option for India to have.
Maybe opening?
No, I still think they'll stick with Shikhar Dhawan. I hope they do, because he looked good in the short innings that he played there. You've got to give him time. If you're going to back someone, back him for a little bit longer.
Moeen says, should Lyon grow a beard for more luck? What did you think about Lyon today?
I thought he bowled very well. It was, it was really top class.
They came for him, didn't they?
Yeah, it was top class off-spin bowling. Really, there was an area to exploit just outside off-stump, and he was able to exploit that. I thought his line was really good. The lengths that he bowled were exceptional as well, and the speeds. He kept varying his speeds. He bowled a few quicker. Saw the one to Rahane, pushed that through a little bit quicker, got that extra bounce. So I thought his bowling was exceptional. He'll bowl, he'll bowl like that on other days and take a lot more wickets.
Is that the first time since Shane Warne retired that Australia have had a better spinner than India?
Yeah, probably. But he did bowl well. It's not easy to follow in Shane Warne's footsteps. But I think bowling in these conditions as well suits him.
Yeah, he's a good bowler at Adelaide.
He's a good bowler in these conditions where there is bounce and there's a bit of pace off the wicket. Maybe in the subcontinent conditions where it's a bit slower, people are able to adjust and get onto the back foot to someone like him. It's not easy to do that here.
Nahir says, how would you survive that delivery that got Rahane out? Well, what I would have done is probably just... It was a good one though, wasn't it? It spat up a little bit. Well, there's not much you can do in that situation.
The only thing when that happens...
Drop your hand?
No, just hope that you're at the non-striker's end.
Seriously, drop your hand at the non-striker's end.
It's one of those ones when you're standing at the non-striker's end and you see that the batsman gets that. You think, thank God I wasn't facing that. Because honestly, there's not much you can do with that.
No. Jason says, is it worth Pup's health to play in this series when Australia a chance to win the World Cup? World Cup seems better for his legacy than this series.
I don't think he can think about legacy and think about a lot of that. He wants to play in this Test series and he values the Test series as well. So look, if he's not fit, then he shouldn't be playing. The next few Test matches. It's just a question of the physio and him deciding whether he's fit enough to play. If he's fit, he should play. If he's not, he shouldn't. And worry about the World Cup later on.
Yeah, I think that's the way Australians go. Although, as Mel may say, essentially, I don't think he's that important to the Australia's World Cup plans. I think they might be okay without him. So, but I can't imagine a time when Australia is ever going to rest someone from a major Test series for one-day games, even for the World Cup. It's not really the way they do it. Ben says, will India miss Ashwin at least in the second innings after Nathan Lyon got too much turn?
Well, they will. I think it was conditions. It's been a bit difficult on Ashwin. The 3 test matches that he didn't play in England, actually the ball did turn. And even someone like Moeen Ali was able to have a huge impact in the game. So he'll feel a little hard done by that he hasn't had an opportunity to bowl in these conditions. But it'll be interesting to see how the wrist spinner goes because he bowled quite well, I thought, in the first innings. Interesting to see if he's able to get a little bit more out of this wicket in the second innings.
Well, what I found interesting was India bowled around the wicket a lot. Mitchell Johnson is obviously a left-arm bowler. They've done everything they can in this game to help off-spinners, but they picked the leg spinner and not the off-spinner who could help with the bat.
The strategy of bowling around the wicket in the first place, you could question that. The amount of, you can expect them to bowl around the wicket for a little bit, but I thought they went on with that for a long time, which was
considering it didn't work.
It was questionable in the start, and then obviously with Mitchell Johnson coming in, which is what I think Nathan Lyon likes. He likes to play with Mitchell Johnson because for that very reason he creates that rough for him outside the off stump.
Carl Lewis, in fact, says.
Okay.
What did you think of the Indian top order today? They're usually not such good travellers.
Well, I think it was a very good start for the Indian top order, especially the first day of a test series overseas. Very rarely do you see the Indian team get off to a good start like this and to score the amount of runs that they did. So I think there was a lot of positives. Everyone got starts, everyone looked good. I guess the only negative was they didn't have that one big partnership. They needed one of those partnerships that established itself to become a really big one. Let's face it, they're still not safe in this game. They still need to get close to Australia, because batting fourth and on the 5th day is not going to be easy.
Indians generally like Adelaide. I think you're still batting out of there from one of the old tests. Didn't you make about 800 runs here?
Yeah, well, can we have all the 4 test matches at Adelaide?
Yeah. Nicholas says, how close is Siddle to being dropped for the next game?
Probably seemed the weakest link.
He was sick.
He was sick as well. So yeah, so second innings I guess is going to be important. So a bit of competition for places. Josh Hazelwood, in the squad, and he's been bowling well from all accounts. So
Pattinson was bowling quick in the nets as well.
Exactly. So there's going to be a bit of pressure on someone like Peter Siddle.
Yeah, he was brought here to be an Adelaide specialist and then didn't particularly bowl like one today, but I think he needs to get both innings. But he has to start doing something special to keep his spot, because there seems to be about 34 other young Australian quicks ready to come in right behind him.
Yeah, that's a great advantage that Australia have. They have this battery line of quicks and all, someone like Patrick Cummins as well. So they've got a lot of young fast bowlers coming in. So the pressure is always on the guys who are playing in the side.
Sam says, do you think George Dobell is more polite than Jared Kimber?
I'm missing George.
Did you enjoy the clarity of umpire's finger today?
Clarity of the umpire's finger?
We'll see you tomorrow.
What does that mean?